Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Here she goes. Great ass! And you got your head all the way up it. Say hello to my little friend.
Hoo-ah! Oh, yeah.
I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming.
You did create me.
I just brought someone else's dream to life.
Mr. Taransky, we both know I was nothing without you. I was computer code. I was ones and zeros.
Well, that's true. I don't want to boast.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff 101 Bronson, welcoming you back to another episode of my Al Pacino retrospective review series, the only review series on YouTube covering every single movie of Al Pacino's legendary career. This is season 3, episode 3, and today's movie is 2002's satirical sci-fi drama comedy, Simone. Now I say sci-fi because at the time this probably might have had sci-fi elements. But this film, I feel, is one that was way ahead of its time and really holds up well in today's climate, let's say. Because this is a film all about an AI actress called Simone, a computer-generated actress who people start believing is real and people start worshipping. And, you know, it's a satire on celebrity, on the cult of celebrity, of, you know, people just being so crazy that they follow, you know, the trends and all that stuff, and then they worship celebrities, you know, celebrity worshipping. It's a film that I think is way ahead of its time. I think it actually comes up very well today. It holds up very well. Now, these days it can definitely be described as a satire about Hollywood nowadays, let alone back then. So anyway, the cast. Of course, it stars Al Pacino alongside, you know, a few great actors. Katherine Keener is in this one. Rachel Roberts makes her debut as Simone herself. You also got Winona Ryder popping up in this one. Mohr. Evan Rachel Wood, who plays Pacino's daughter, Jeffrey Pierce, Pruitt Taylor Vince, and Jason Schwartzman, among others. And it's written and directed by Andrew Niccol. He also wrote The Truman Show, and he did some other films and a lot of writing on some films. Anyway, let's just go, you know, without any further ado, let's just dive into Simone from 2002 and see if it really does hold up today. And spoilers, I really think it does. So here we go. The plot of the movie goes as follows. The career of struggling director Victor Taransky, played by Al Pacino, who was desperate for a hit, is endangered when his star Nicola Andrews, played by Winona Ryder, walks off of his film set. Forced to think fast, the director decides to use a digital actress called Simone, played by Rachel Roberts, born out of a self-created, highly advanced computer program which was passed on to him by a big fan of his work to sub for the star Andrews, using the first totally believable computer-generated actress. The actress, quote-unquote, becomes an overnight sensation with a major singing career as well, and everyone's fooled into thinking she's a real person. However, as Simone's fame skyrockets, he cannot bear to admit his fraud to himself or the world. But will he be able to keep up the charade, or will his secret eventually see the light of day? It's a nice little comedy that, like I said, is even more relevant today than it was back when it was released back in the day. What with deepfake and advanced AI, etc. that we see nowadays, and with the actress strike that we had recently in fear of this advanced technology, definitely a film that was ahead of its time and even kind of predicted a lot of the things that we have and see nowadays. I would actually go so far as to say it's my favorite comedy that Pacino has done, to be fair. There's some legit funny moments in this that definitely make me chuckle. Pacino does a great job as per usual in this as the wire director desperate for a hit. The chaos and madness in certain scenes are wonderfully portrayed by Pacino, and he's very funny in this one, especially as the film moves towards its climax and the situation around the digital actress just becomes crazier and crazier. Another great performance, and as I've said before, it's always great to see Pacino do something different to the cop and gangster milieu, which he's definitely most known for to the masses. Once again adding to his versatility as an actor, so it's a great performance in this one. Rachel Roberts plays the titular Simone in her on-screen debut and manages to do a great job as a quote-unquote digital computer actress, perfectly portraying the deadness when she's offline to perfectly mimicking Pacino when he's directing her, etc., and perfectly acting in the scenes of Taransky's final edits of his films. A lot of things to do for a debutante actress, but I feel Roberts does a really solid job at all of the aspects required for the character. It's a good performance there. Katherine Keener plays Victor's ex-wife and producer of his films, Elaine, and does a very solid job in this as well, along with the actress Evan Rachel Wood, who portrays her and Pacino's daughter. Then you have the likes of Winona Ryder, Mohr, Jeffrey Pierce, Poor Taylor Vince, and Jason Schwartzman who all deliver in this as well. All in all, no complaints when it comes to the acting department in this. Solid jobs all around. It's a very good script with some great satire on celebrities and how the audience can worship him most of the times, and very well directed by Andrew Niccol with some nice shots and very good pacing to the film. Even on the old DVD on which I watched this film on, it really looks great. I must see if there's a Blu-ray available for it because I definitely wouldn't mind upgrading this one. Overall, very competently put together, top-notch stuff. The film at the time was a bit of a mixed bag with audiences and critics, sadly. On an estimated budget of $10 million, the film made about $19.5 million worldwide. Not too bad, one might think, but we are now in the era where films have to make at least twice their budget to at least break even. The score for it on Rotten Tomatoes is at a 50% fresh, and the IMDb score for it is 6.1. That's not all too far off from what I'm going to give it, to be fair, but I will say that I do personally find it a pretty damn underrated film that definitely deserves some more love and new discovery. Considering the film is very relevant nowadays, it's well acted and well put together. On the objective basis, I would probably give this film a 6.5 stars out of 10, but as these reviews do also have some subjective opinions to it, I will say that I can't quite give it a 7 because of the 7s I've given out previously, so I'm going to find a middle road and give this one a 6.8 out of 10. I usually don't go like in the middle between something, I usually go 6 or 6.5 or just 7. But for this one, I'm going to go 6.8 because again, 6.5 is a little too low for me personally, and 7 might be a little too high, so I'm going to find that middle ground. So 6.8 stars out of 10 for me. I truly believe that if this was released today, it would have fared much better and would have been a bigger hit. Very much recommended as a sleeper hit that for me deserves to be seen more. And that's that. So there you guys have it. That was my review for Simone from 2002. Like I said, I really like this film. I've always liked this film, but even, especially watching it these days, it's so, I don't know, poetic to see just how well that they predicted, how, with AI and, and with computer, how far the CGI technology would come. I mean, look at movies now. They can do, they can have stuntmen fully in frame doing the stunts, and they can just CGI the actor on top of it, so you will never know if it really was the actor or the stuntman. Of course, if you got an eye for CGI, like I do and a lot of people do, you will obviously be able to spot a fake a mile away. But the CGI, I gotta be honest, as much as I despise CGI and advancement, there you go, that's a big boy word, of computer technology, I gotta say it's looking pretty good nowadays, right? It's like, wow, it's as much as I despise it, I can still spot it. I do have to give them credit for just how far that whole thing has come. It's also scary, of course, when you see stuff with deepfake and AI and all that stuff. And of course, and the featurette for this film, the actors interviewed, including Pacino, they say like, oh, it's very possible that there might one day be, a digital actress. And it's like, yeah, that's very much possible. It's so scary nowadays that the actors have gone on strike, of course, recently in the SAG, not SAG, screenwriters, no, not screenwriters. Yeah, well, they also had a strike, but the Actors Guild, they had a strike, of course, recently about the whole matters of AI, right? So, yeah, this movie I definitely say is more relevant today than it ever was. So, if you've slept on this one, if you've never seen it, I definitely recommend Simone. Like I said, for me, I don't usually do these kind of scores, but 6.8 is what I give it out of 10. I can't quite go 7, and 6.5 I feel is a little too low for my personal liking. So 6.8 is a good middle road, a middle way, as a good compromise. 6.8 is my ranking on it. He has a damn fine, entertaining film, and like I said, it's probably my favorite comedy that Pacino has done. Next week's film, though, however, nice segue, it's not a comedy. It is a kind of a mystery, thriller drama with a little bit of romance in there. There's a romantic subplot in there as well. Next week, we're taking a look at the very obscure and very forgotten People I Know, also from 2002, although this one was filmed and supposed to be released in 2001. It got a limited release in 2002 before, I think in Mexico or Italy. And then in 2003 is the actual official US release date. And the UK had to wait until 2004 for this one. So this is a film with a lot of problems and stuff. So we'll be discussing that next week. And People I Know with Al Pacino and Kim Basinger. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Join me for that as always. Shout out to my members. Thank you, Craig DeHoff and Crushers Movies and Games for being members. These Al Pacino reviews will become available to members earlier than they are for, well, the rest of the audience, let's say, the rest of the public. So if you do want to get a sneak peek at the next Al Pacino episode, do consider becoming a member. It will also help support the channel tremendously. And with all that having been said, thank you all so much for watching, and see you next week for People I Know with some more Al Pacino. Hooah! Stay safe and healthy, take care, and keep punching, and see you next week.